Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. We might be a slightly lower energy stream today because I ate a lot of food and now I'm feeling like a big baby full of loads of food. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing? How are you on your Wednesday? I'm just gonna go straight into it and get started on the skate park because sooner or later I gotta get the skate park done, so I may as well get it done now, right? But man, I feel like, yeah, you know when you just eat a lot of food, so now you're just kind of shattered. I feel like that right now. Ugh. Ooh. Take that, get yawned at loudly. Alright. It seems our little town is going up in the world. Buckingham Skate Park has been chosen to host the next county championships. Oh, cool. Why? Look at your skate park. Now look back to me. Now look at your skate park and look back to me. One of these is incredibly dirty. Ordinarily, I'll leave the sullen types to roll around on their own filth, as is their wont. Okay, so you're just a dick. And on TV, we can't have people seeing all the grime and funny writing, so I want you to hit it with everything you've got. Alright. I will goosh all over the skate park and get it clean. And I gotta remember how to shoot again. And are we on? We are on the. It's weird. You got the upgrade, so it's like there's no reason to ever really go back to the Prima Vista 1500. But it's still there. Also, I definitely prefer handles like this than to this, but whatever. Not handles. Triggers? Triggers, I suppose. I'll never explain to you what kind of compound they use for structures such as these. Multi-purpose. Oh, we got a ladder. What's a ladder for? Where would I put that? Just to get on top of the walls? I thought that was going to be a penis for a second. I just looked at it, I was like, wait, what's this? Also, it's like the neighbors or something perfectly cleaned some bits, and they were just like, nah, I've cleaned the bits I look at, the rest of it can stay horrendously dirty. Is there a need for the ladder? I don't know. Ooh, can't get on this wall very well, so maybe the ladder is needed over here. Where's the gnome? I forgot about the gnome. Is the gnome skating somewhere? Wall. Oh, fuck, I fell. Where might the gnome be? Looking for the telltale bit of red. He's probably like in a tree or something. Oh, there he is. Found the gnome. Oh, got a wiggle nozzle on. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. How does the cat have such cleaning paws? It's like its paws are covered in soap of some form. I can't jump. Okay, that was weird. Wiggle. You just make a pretty pattern all the way down it. It's great. I don't even know where to start. This is actually real mucky. Football. Oh. Football. Oh. Oh. Damn you, physics. And lack of aim. Aha! In the skate park, push the... Oh. I got an achievement for that. I was just fucking with the football. Can I get it out the corner without it going back into the hole? I mean, I probably could have, but I didn't. Okay. Maybe if our shot isn't... Yeah, it's very easy if the shot isn't wiggling. There's probably more achievements for, like, I don't know, making it go round the loop. Oh, yeah, definitely, right? Yeah, screw that. I don't care about that enough. Alright, how dirty is this? Can I just blast everything with yellow? And just cut through it? Yeah, that's all cleaned. That's cleaned. doesn't seem like any of this is going to be particularly difficult to clean. It's just there's a lot of it. It's fun, the little patterns you can make. Oh. I was actually expecting to be able to just clamber up here. Alright, we can just clamber up here, no problem. What about green? I'm not too fast on what I'm doing. I don't know what I've been playing recently, but I keep trying to hit R to do the glow. To get the glowies going. But R is obviously rotate. Ding. Have you hit level 90? Oh no, ding, I complete an objective and get a thingy. Yes, I need to be dinging on everything. My first thought went to WoW, okay? Not the thing I'm playing. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I don't know what is up with my brain today. I read you writing PW Sim, you know, Power Wash Sim, the game I'm playing. My brain was like, password simulator? The fuck is that? Clearly, I don't even realize what I'm doing right now. My brain will lock in at some point. Maybe, I don't know. Also, hi Betty. Welcome in, how you doing? How's your day been? Well, that stays kind of dirty. Okay. The arch. And that's pretty good. Have you seen the password game? It's a game where you gotta input a password. It was pretty popular with streamers for a while. Oh, you might. Maybe I'll have to do that sometime then. I didn't really play it much, but I'm kind of aware of what it is. But basically, it starts with input a password, and then it'll be like, okay, now, so that'll be like task 1. And then task 2 will be, okay, change the password so it has numbers as well. And then task 3 will be like, okay, and has capital letters. And it just keeps adding on requirements for the password. But it gets kind of really weird as it goes along. Yeah, I don't need to be too thorough, because there's a lot of the arch, so presumably a lot of the arch will be... This is all part of the quarter pipe. Okay, that's where it becomes the arch. Sounds like you work laptop. Yeah, basically it's just like, yep, you need to put in a new password. It's been 3 months. It can't be the same as the old password. It can't share the same characters as the old password. Did I see? Yeah. There's little cat paw prints there. Huh. Okay. And of course, the always common annoyance of you invented your password incorrectly, and you try it a bunch of times. It's like, well, this is clearly not working, so obviously I need to reset the password. Then you reset the password, and it's like, hey, yeah, you can't use the same password. Like, God damn it! What do you mean? And apparently, like, the general consensus on that is you're in. Like, whatever thing you're trying to log into has decided that you need to input a new password, and instead of telling you you need to put in a new password, they're just making you... They just tell you, yeah, there's an issue, you've got to make a new one. And the whole... Then, yeah, it's the same as. Which is interesting. Annoying, obviously, but... interesting if true. Yeah, that worked a little bit better at this distance. Oh yeah, this is much better with the extendo. Oh my god, we got some... No, never mind. Let's say we got some dirt that's taking more to spray off, and then we didn't. I've been very lightly keeping up with the stop killing games thing. Because that was the whole thing for a while, where it added to the Pirate Software drama, because Pirate Software was against stop killing games, and then the whole Pirate Software drama happened, and people were like, wait, Pirate Software's actually an idiot. Weird. But yeah, so the Stop Killing Game Initiative, which is all about making sure that games have an end-of-life thing going on, which, actually, ignoring the Stop Killing Games part at the moment, a game I like playing, like, Let It Die. They released Let It Die Inferno this year, and it's probably not going to last, because they had, like, 3, I think it was. They dropped to 3 active players on Steam. So, yeah, the servers probably aren't going to last for that too long. Especially as their previous sequel-y thing was shut down after a few months. Is there dirt there I can get? No, okay. But Let It Die is getting rid of the servers in September, the original Let It Die game, which means no more microtransaction stuff. So all the game is going to be played free to play and no microtransactions. So that's going to be great. I'm going to have so much fun grinding that. Because I go and play it every now and then, because the whole point of the game is grind. The game exists as a time sink. You spend a bunch of time relying on RNG to try and get resources to make things you want to make. And so, unless you really vibe with the gameplay or the art style, you know, unless there's something about it that you really vibe with, you're not going to enjoy it. Which, you know, fair enough. Making games like that, I think, is a good thing, because you don't need to make a game for everyone all the time. But, yeah, so Let It Die, they're not just abandoning it when they turn off the turn off the online mode and the online requirement. They're actually setting it up so that it will actually play as an offline mode, because it currently has an online required. So, circling back to Stop Killing Games, that's essentially what Stop Killing Games wants to confirm, is that, like, legally speaking, games have to do something along those lines. Anyway, it went before the... Like, it got a bunch of signatures in the EU as a initiative, whatever, to go before the European Commission, I believe it is. And a YouTuber that I watch presented it to... I can't remember if they presented it to the European Commission or the European Parliament. And he quoted This is Democracy Manifest from Mr. Chuckling Chinese Meals himself. Which I just... Yeah, great. This is Democracy Manifest. Yes, that, like, 10 minutes of me rambling there was that was the point I was making. Oh, I shouldn't be allowed to exist. No, oh, chat. I got new shoes. I have new shoes. I've realized recently that the pair of shoes that I've been wearing, I've had for, like... Oh, fuck. Nearly a decade? I just realized now, like, thinking about it. Yeah, it's been about a decade since I got the pair of shoes that I normally wear. Like, they're comfy, and... Yeah, in real life. And, yeah, I mean, they're comfy, so I never really thought about getting another pair, but because with my Japanese holiday... I mean, that is what it is. Holiday to Japan, there we go. I don't know why I took offense at myself saying Japanese holiday there, that was weird. But, yeah, I figured it's probably worth having more than one pair of shoes for such a long holiday. So yeah, I went and bought a new pair of shoes. And I was thinking of getting some Converse, because I've never had Converse, and I was like, hey, why not? It's, like, not really the style I normally wear. So, why not get a pair of those? Tried on Converse, and I'm just like, that's why. They're super uncomfortable. They're super uncomfortable, and I dislike the fabric they're made of. So then instead, I got a different pair of Converse. Instead of, like, the generic Converse with the thin fabric, I got one that's leathery, and it's comfortable for me. Why is that, like, a tiny bit there? And so, yeah, I now have a nice new pair of shoes that are, you know, water resistant, so they're a good choice for a second pair of shoes, because my current shoes, when it rains, my feet get completely soaked through. I had that, I think it was the last Pride I went to. My feet were real wet because of it. You love Converse, we wear them more than now. Yeah, yeah. And, like, I tried them on and I was just like, yeah, these aren't going to be good for, like, walking in mountains or, you know, just, like, hiking trails and stuff. It's just like, yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, I found another pair of Converse that were actually quite nice. And when I was looking for shoes, because I decided to look at them online before I went out to go buy them, because I'm a reasonable consumer, I suppose. But, yeah, I looked up online, and I saw that they've been doing a limited time run pair of Pride shoes for Converse. And I said it to my sister, because I was like, yeah, she apparently my sister. I was aware my sister wore Converse. Apparently she has 3 pairs. I was not aware. I just knew that she wore Converse. Shows how much attention I pay to feet, you know. But, so I sent her a message about it. I was just like, hey, check out these, right? And because they were like really on sale as well, I'm assuming, because if they're a Pride run, they would have been a run from last year, presumably. Like, presumably it would have been in Pride Month that they ran them. So they're, I don't know, they're like 30 quid, 40 quid instead of 90 quid. So I sent them to my sister anyway, and she thought they would look really cute on my knees. So when I went in today to get my shoes, I asked if they had them in kid size, but they do not have them in kid size. You have the Pride Converse? Okay. I was thinking of linking it to, like, all of you in the D&D group, because I felt like they're kind of your guys' vibes. And they're on sale, but then I just didn't, because I'm stupid. Simple answer, because I'm stupid, but hey, you have them. Oh, you have some. Okay. I suppose there's probably multiple types that they do every year or whatever. Well, hey, if you want a new pair, depending on how big your feet are, you'd be able to... They're on sale from Shoe in, I was gonna say, in the large shopping mall that is near us. There we go. Avoid saying what the location is. The middle of nowhere large shopping mall. But yeah, I went there, I had some food, I'm now completely and utterly stuffed with food, and I went to the import sweet shop and to get some nerds, because my niece ate all my nerds when she was up here before, because she's sneaky, and she asked my mum if she could have some, and my mum didn't realise they were my nerds. She thought they were Alice's, so it was just, yeah, the whole thing. Is that back? Is what back? Nerds? Or the import candy shop? There's one, I'm trying to be as vague as possible to not give away a location. How the hell? Oh, wait, ladder. I'm like complaining. How do I do this? How about ladder? Yeah, there we go. Dumbass. I didn't need ladder. Oh, there's one. One second. I'll just quickly type to you. I can't remember what it was called. Hey. I don't know if I spelled that properly, whatever. But yeah, so I was like, I'll get some nerds, that's great. And then I found some of the, what do they call it? They're like crispy chocolate rolls. They're like sort of like that long with like a biscuity thing in them as well. And I could never find them normally, so I got some of them. And then I was like, I might as well grab a monster as well while I'm in there because, you know, import flavors are always weird. I found it's a pink kind of monster. I have no idea what flavor it's meant to be because I do not know what language this is that is on it. It's clearly Eastern European. It's not Polish. I don't think it's Turkish. But yeah, it's just it is not an English language on it. But it tastes alright. So I saw it and I was just like, you know what? Realistically, I saw it and I was like, huh, I wonder what flavor that's going to be. Tried to read what flavor it was, saw it was in a weird language, and I was just like, sold. I'll buy it immediately. I do not understand what this says. I will buy it. And you see, this is why I don't like going outside much. Because I just see things and I'm like, I want that. I will take that. Give me that. It's just like, well, the money I got 3 months ago from Twitch is all gone. I just realised the reason it's slightly awkward to aim this is because I've got the extendo nozzle on. What shade of pink? I don't know, it's Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red. That bit's in English. The rest of it isn't. They spell sugar C-U-K-R-U. If you want to try and work out what language that is. I know enough about the can to know which bits mean what. It was enough to know the where the caffeine is. Like, how much caffeine does this have? Ah, yeah, standard amount. Cool. We good. Da -da 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 -da. But yeah, I think we're mostly good for, like, preparations to go on holiday now, and I'm just like, oh my god. This will be, like, the longest holiday I've been on in, like, the longest period of time. I don't remember the last time I went on. It's grapefruit? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Of course. Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red. Of course that's grapefruit. Of course. How could I be so stupid to not know that Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red was grapefruit flavored? Like, that's the reason I don't buy... You know, there's a bunch of VTubers and streamers in general have a... I don't know if the weird flavors of powder stuff that you put into things. There's like, I know there's a titty milk one, there's a fart one, things like that. And yeah, it's like the reason I don't buy any of those is because trying to find out what flavor they actually are is an absolute ball ache, and I'm way too lazy to try and scroll through everything to try and find out. Titty milk is okay. Wait. But I think that's, Shy Lily has a share in that company. Okay, we're turning the extendo off. Where's the extendo? Get rid of it. Pissing me off. I suppose a wiggly would be alright, wouldn't it? Yeah, whatever. You have them, you're not a creep. Interesting addition. At the power wash? Working at the power wash. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh no, now I'm thinking about Shark Tale again. No! Weird fucking movie. I might watch that again. I mean, I don't know if it's because I said it out loud last time I did Power Wash Sim, and mentioned the movie, but I've been recommended a bunch of YouTubers recently that are reviewing animated movies from that era. And it's like, alright, cool. Also, I found a reasonable niche in YouTube, if anyone wants to fill it, of Buffy the Vampire Slayer deep dives. I found one channel that does it, and I don't like the way they do it. So, if anyone wants to spend hours and hours rewatching and then deep diving and editing and whatever else, a video on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there's a niche on YouTube for it. You've never seen Buffy? Well, there's a good excuse to watch it. It's a good show. There's a lot of utter random nonsense and BS in it, and some of the characters don't grow over the seasons, and some of it makes no sense. And the end of the show ends in like a nuke. But, you know, otherwise, it's a great show. It has one of the best shows best episodes in TV, I think, with the... Oh, what's the episode called? It's called, like, The Gentleman or something like that is the episode. Obviously, I'm not going to give any spoilers for it, but really good episode of TV. It also has a musical episode, which, while not being good, is enjoyable. Because, of course, it has to have a musical episode. And their excuse for having a musical episode is a musical demon showed up and made them all sing and dance. But I mean, I will say Buffy the Vampire Slayer's like biggest downfall is it kind of falls into that weird category where it works really well, small scale, but because of how they've written the lore, there's going to be a bunch of large-scale stuff that they end up doing, which they do, that doesn't work so well because none of it makes sense. There's also a guy who gets a bazooka pointed at him, says, "What that do?" and then explodes. Which is fun. I like Buffy, okay? I don't know if I've actually watched all of it, because I normally get bogged down at a certain point in the story, because I don't really like where it goes in the story. We can ignore that. The show also got a spin-off, like a completely unrelated spin-off, basically, with Angel. That was a spin-off of Buffy. Which some people... my voice. Which some people say is the better show. But yeah, it's pretty good. Also, yeah, I suppose if they kind of color code their monsters, that does make sense. Yeah, so just the reddy pink ones tend to be grapefruity. That makes sense. Ugly? Sped up square dancing? I have not. You want to talk about weird stuff that kids are made to do? I had to square dance when I was a kid. Because, of course. To friggin' 5, 6, 7, 8. Boots getting baby driving me crazy. I still remember the dance because it's square dancing. It's not difficult. My obsession for a Western. Ah, the engineer. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Driving me crazy, my obsession for a Western. Dance all day. My rodeo, Romeo. Cowboy got from head to toe. Gonna make you mine, better get in line, 5, 6, 7, 8? I think. I'm not old, you're old. I also noticed that a lot of places just seem to be playing 90s music now, as just the general store music is 90s music, as opposed to radio or anything like that. It's just 90s music. Which is interesting. I should ask my friend if they still work in a... what supermarket was it? Tesco, because it's Tesco Express. They still work in a Tesco, because that... They used to be driven insane by whatever the current modern music was, playing on repeat. Gotta make you mine! The rose is great. That feels like... a really cheesy villain, like... You know the lady from the second Kingsman film? That feels like a line that she would come out with. She'd be like, I'm gonna make you mine, and then throw someone into the coal mines. Or in her case, it'd be like the drug mines or something. I don't remember what she did. Yes, there are drug mines, obviously. Why wouldn't there be? Yeah. Oh, that would be the like, sub-villain from the second Kingsman movie. He definitely was into crypto. He definitely made his own pump and dump nonsense coin. That's another franchise that is really annoying, because the first one is so good, and then the second one is thoroughly average, but also kind of flips off the first one, and then the third one is just hot garbage, because it doesn't make any sense at all. And it feels like they... Like Kingsman 2, they clearly were amazed by the success of Kingsman, and so demanded a sequel, and presumably had a lot of rewrites, because the story does not work, and does not make sense, and essentially removes a lot of the stuff that was established in the first one. Ding! Ding! But the third one, slash the prequel, just, it's a, well, the franchise was really good, we tried to make money off it again, but the second one flopped, so we can't do a sequel, we've got to do a prequel. But because the law was already established in the first one that a prequel wouldn't really work, because the Kingsmen have only existed for, like, 60 years? How the heck do you make a slope out of concrete? What do you mean, how do you make a slope out of concrete? Just fucking pour it in a slope! Like, what? Oh, how do you make a slope? You just do! You just have a mold! Oh, why not give it a tour? This is mine! Put on a Nordic accent. That would work. Not going to. It was the Big Summer Blowout guy. He would definitely say this is mine when talking about a mine. Am I tripping, or did they do a live action Frozen? Or was that just Once Upon a Time and they just went through the, like, movie points in Once Upon a Time with Frozen? I also saw someone give a completely reasonable explanation to why most Elsa dresses look hot garbage, whereas a lot of the Anna outfits look reasonable. And it's because the Anna outfit is an outfit from the time. Yes, the colours can be a bit cartoony and exaggerated, but, like, the outfit makes sense. Whereas Elsa's dress is a magical ice dress, made out of magical ice, which, surprisingly, we don't have in the real world, and is kind of hard to reproduce. At least reproduce for a reasonable price that, you know, random cosplayers would wear, or kids would wear as princess dresses. And it's just like, yeah, I never really thought about that. It's a totally reasonable reason for why they look so bad. Also, to be fair, costume, like, ball gowns and dresses and stuff from shows or, like, cheap cosplay stuff generally look bad. Because it takes time and effort to make a good-looking dress. And mass-produced stuff tends not to have time and effort behind it. There's a reason why good-looking wedding dresses are so expensive. As much as they probably shouldn't be as expensive as they are, it's one of those things where, well, the demand is there, and people are willing to pay that price, so go off, I suppose, for the designers. Like, if you know your value, you know your value. Do 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 do. Wah 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 wah. Da 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 dee da da do. I wonder if, like, wedding dresses that hide your feet are more common than wedding dresses that don't. Because it makes sense if they did, because then you don't have to spend as much money on the shoes. You just have to have shoes that, if they poke out, look okay, as opposed to just generally look good. Although I could also imagine someone who spent a lot of money on their shoes having wedding pictures and specifically have the shoes on display in one of the wedding pictures. Da da da, ba da 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 da. You know, chat, what's your thoughts on weddings? I know that's like a very vague and open question, but I mean, like, would you get married? Would you get married and have a standard marriage ceremony? Like, what do y'all think? I don't know how popular weddings as an idea is a thing. I bring this up because my uncle might be getting married again, so I'm just like, yeah, wedding is definitely on mind. Do do ba da 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 da. You really want to get married? Cool. What sort of, like, ceremony would you want? Would it be like in a church, or just in some sort of wedding venue, reception hall-y type thing? Because, like, when my grandpa got married to his last wife before he died, that was literally a document signing ceremony. There was 7, 8 of us in the room. They played a little bit of music, they signed the documents, and then we went next door to have a meal. So it was just like, yeah, I've seen that. I've been in one of, been at a wedding like that. I've been the ring bearer in my aunt's wedding. My dad's sister. That's my aunt. Yeah, yeah. At my aunt's wedding. I don't really think of her as an aunt because I know her. I've met her like 3 times in my life. I just know her as a person more than anything else. Like, I don't, like, disregard her. It's more, I just don't think about her. Don't care about Sarah, you just want to throw a good party? That's, yeah. Because, see, my sister got married in a castle. Because she's extra. And it was a good ceremony. But to be fair, you don't need to get married to throw a good party. Where the hell did I put the ladder? There it is.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, Raw. Ah, but if you lurk, you don't get to talk about weddings. But yes, enjoy your lurk. Thank you for it. I appreciate it. Hope you have had a good day. And you're incredibly stinky and passionate. Maybe I move the ladder over. I suppose I should answer the question myself, shouldn't I? I don't have a strong inkling one way or the other. I'd be more than fine with a wedding. I would hate the having to do a speech part, because I hate that sort of thing. But the rest of it, yeah, I'd be absolutely more than fine with. You know, it's doing something with someone you love, you know? Another British streamer for today. I saw Emma's toes and she died. She had a... Oh no. Yes. I mean, they probably did. Lots of screenshots. In fact, so many screenshots that it just appears to be a stream VOD. Would never have expected that. I hate this section of the wall because I can't stand on it. But yes, I've been to a bunch of different weddings. Being part of a couple, being a ring bearer, and I did a speech at my sister's wedding. I say speech. I read out a thing at my sister's wedding. And, you know what? I know it's not a competition, but my brother-in-law's sister also read something out at the wedding, and people were definitely more... enjoyed my reading out of things more than hers. That's definitely the important thing of my sister's wedding, is whether myself or my brother-in-law's sister had the best reading. Just top-notch elocution skills. The fact that I'm stumbling on that sentence is... Yeah, okay. Is it elocution? Is that the word? And I know a family member who had... Oh no, that wasn't a wedding, that was a funeral. I was going to say they had a forest wedding, but no, it's a forest funeral. Which was apparently really awful. Because it was really wet. And it wasn't raining, but it had been, so the ground was all super muddy. It was really awkward to get the casket where they wanted to get it, and it was just, yeah, it was just a really bad idea all round, apparently. It's been a while since I've been to, like, a big party. You know what I mean? Like, with, like, 30 people. That's what a big party is to me, by the way. Like, 30-ish people. 30 plus, should I say. Who's grinding Moon Knight's... Moon Knight points for the lols. Talking how he's such a balanced class. Yeah, he's... You can play around him. Like, the higher... the reason he's not S tier is because at higher ranks you can play around him. But, yeah, he can just farm up his ulti incredibly quickly by just spamming into the enemy team. And then, if he gets in a one-on-one situation, all he has to do is throw his arc at the floor, and that knocks up them, and then shoot them a bunch. And so, yeah, you see, I think he kind of falls off, sort of, like, he's really strong at low ranks, because all they have to do is aim at the Ankh, and people don't get out of the range of the Ankh. And then, I think he falls off a bit in sort of the mid-ranks, because people no longer stand in the Ankhs or they kill the Ankhs, and people's aim isn't as great in the sense that they'll be trying to go for some actual shots as opposed to just aiming for the Ankh. Because you do more... You potentially do more damage if you shoot the person rather than shooting the Ankh, because you can headshot with normal shots. You can't headshot with arc shots. So people are going to be trying to aim more for the head, but missing more. So the damage sort of drops off in mid-ranks and then goes back up in higher ranks, but then obviously isn't as impactful in higher ranks because people are able to deal with it better. Generally speaking. Although that being said, the number of videos you see from people who are like, I'm the rank, or I have been the rank 1 insert character here, and you watch some of the games they're playing, and it's just a clown fiesta. It's just like, how is this the highest rank in the game? These are the one above all players? And I'm aware it's because when you hit a certain point in skill, you're able to just kind of mess around and still do what's necessary. That's weird, my side button wasn't working. Strafe, that's a word. Yonk! No, don't release any geese. Don't release the geese. I think it was yesterday? Day before on Pointless, they had... Clown Fiesta. Not geese. Clowns. Yes. Oh no, not Hong Kong clowns are coming. I'll stick to the geese. I prefer geese to clowns. Yeah, I think it was yesterday or the day before on Pointless. They had a question where they thesaurused superhero names and gave you the first letter of the superhero name. So it was things like, what was it? Physician Unusual for Doctor Strange. Yeah, like that. Anyway, the lowest scoring on all of them, so i.e. the one that people didn't know the most, was Moon Knight, which I can't remember what it was. It was Luna, some word that means night. But I think people just didn't know who Moon Knight was, which, I mean, is fair. Even if the show was reasonably... It was reasonably well critiqued, wasn't it? Like, people said the Moon Knight show was pretty good. I don't think it was particularly popular. And other than the meme of Moon Knight asking Dracula for his $10 or whatever, I don't think he's in the public consciousness much. Which is fair. I kind of feel like trying to explore a character with multiple personality disorder that is the embodiment of vengeance of the Egyptian god Khonshu is something that would take a lot of time to do. And yes, it's an episodic series, so they can try and look at it. I don't know if they did it very well, especially as in the last episode they introduced an extra personality that they just didn't tell us about. They were just like, there's actually been 3 personalities inside this man. Oh, okay. I thought I'd done all the tops of the walls, but this is middle section that I just didn't do. And apparently that corner I didn't do. Can I? Yeah, I can. Okay. Yeah, get washed. My issue is some of the abilities that Rogue steals, and presumably a lot of those abilities are like confirmed or denied in the comics. But the ability to steal the Avatar of Lightning ability from Thor is kinda weird. Because first of all, Thor's not a mutant. Second of all, that's like a god-given ability. Like, it's weird that that's what she can take from Thor, but I assume it's because they you know, gameplay mechanics as opposed to lore mechanics. Khonshu seems like I mean, true. Khonshu does find at least some part of Moon Knight worthy. Although the TV series seemed to imply that it was only one or two of his personalities that Khonshu liked, and the other ones that Khonshu didn't. But I'm not 100% on what that's like in comic book lore. Also, Khonshu's got a bit of an attitude, but Egyptian god. I also love that... It's one of those things that, whenever you go deeper into the lore and consider all these Marvel characters living in the same universe, on the same planet, Earth, same universe, same Earth, and then it's just like, yeah, so the Egyptian gods exist, and they have avatars that walk around the Earth, and there's like 7 of them that are active that have avatars. We only really pay much attention to Khonshu because it's Moon Knight. But yeah, that just exists. But the Egyptian Empire... Empire? I don't know if it would have been called the Empire. The ancient Egyptian ruling with pharaohs and whatever else died. Yet the Egyptian gods were actually real in that world? Okay. And then, yeah, so you got that. Obviously you've got the Asgardian gods are real. They exist, but they kind of just... They're not... I assume they're not as powerful as the Egyptian gods, because Thor is an Asgardian god. A Nordic god. Whereas Moon Knight is the avatar of a Egyptian god. So, presumably that suggests that the god itself is probably more powerful than Thor? Maybe? I don't know. What do I know about comic books? Very little, because I don't like reading comic books. Like, I will read pages of wiki about these characters and about how they did things in different stories, but I don't like reading comics. Which is kind of funny, because I spent the last 2 days reading 200 chapters of a webcomic. Webtoon? Manhwa. It was a manhwa. And it was not great. It's not finished, but I'm now up to date with it, so I will now forget it exists. Oh, I should probably, like, mark it down somewhere. Like, there's probably a website somewhere where I could be like, hey, yeah, I've read this, or I've read up to this point of this one. How are the cat paws just constantly on the wall? Whatever. I need to stick back, man. I'm edgy. You're only edgy because you have spiky moons that you throw at people instead of spiky bats. Sharp as opposed to spiky. I suppose they're spiky and sharp. Pointy and sharp. Pointy and sharp. Spiky suggests like extra spikes as opposed to just the pointy ends of the moons. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about comic book style that I just don't enjoy reading. Whereas I am more than happy to read manga and manhwa. But I've tried to get into comic books before. I've tried to find certain runs of certain characters so I can be like, okay, let's see if I can find out some information. Like, I want to read some more stuff about Doom, because he seems like a really interesting character, and he's apparently a really good villain in a lot of people's eyes. But all I know about Doom is Robert Downey Jr. is now going to be Doom, and I can't remember who it was before, but the Fantastic Four movie that had Doom, where he gets superheated and then frozen. I think that's like 2 Fantastic Four movies ago? 3 Fantastic Four movies ago? Because you had the bad one that no one ever remembers existed. We've had the most recent one, which is okay, apparently. I've watched it. I thought it was fine. I say okay, apparently, and then I'm like, wait, no, I did watch it. I watched it through. It was okay. And I'm aware that Franklin Richards is, like, a ridiculously super powerful... I don't even know if it's mutant or just being in general. But a huge plot point of the movie being Galactus wants Sue Storm's baby is like unborn baby is just kind of weird. It just is just kind of weird. Doom? Doom? Did somebody say Doom? Yeah, definitely prefer going horizontally. I was thinking of getting a power washer to do the front yard, but I feel like it's too much of a tool for such a small space. But it would be fun, and you could draw penises, which, you know, excellent. Annoy the neighbours by having penises on my front yard. That's what I said before. My brain was just like, wait, what was the word? You've literally just said it, you dumbass. I was like, where's the ding here? I've still got this entire section of wall to do. I was like, where's the ding? Must ding. Almost done all the walls. There's a railing over there that... No, wait. That railing? That railing's not done. Okay, we'll do that railing. It's fun just sort of scanning around the map being like, okay, what highlights slightly in the bar at the top? What is a problem still?
Hello.
Hello. Enjoy your lurk, Benny. Have you seen the pond ornament? There's both a swan and a... No. On purpose or accidentally? Yeah. Get rid of that ball. Wall. There we go. Absolutely springed there. It was in space. Is this the special S? It is. I've ruined it. It's gone. It's gone forever. I mean, I could try and draw one myself, but oh no, I need a diagonal for that. From far away, it's a swan. Upon closing inspection, the head. Oh. So it specifically is a penis that has been disguised to be a swan. That is weird. You see, this is why we should never have AI, because if we had AI, no one would have ever made that. Some random company somewhere would have just paid an AI company to make statue, and they would have made statue. And it wouldn't have been a penis statue. And we wouldn't have this amazing moment. I'm thinking of like weird statues that people like. You know the got one hell of a filthy sidecar. Ooh, okay. Went up to you if that helps, maybe. Oh, was it the peeing boy statue? I can't remember where that is, but it's like super. It's like the tourist trap of that area is the peeing boy statue, and like all the tourist shops are selling it. Stuff about it. I didn't read what that said at all. And it's just like, well, that's just kind of weird that this is what people are like. It's not a statue anyway. Sorry, it's fountain specifically. But it's a weird thing that people have been are just like, yeah, this is the thing. This is what is great about this area. This fountain that is a boy peeing. It's like if someone framed a picture of, you know how there's a bunch of pictures of Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes peeing on stuff. It's normally you see them as bumper stickers, like peeing on sports team that person doesn't like. It feels like someone framing one of those and leaving it in the middle of a city centre, and then everyone's like, well, this is what we're well known for now. Calvin peeing on sports team poster. Since there's about birds being dicks, I was supposed to say found this dick floating in the pond, little bird being fair. Birds being dicks sounds like a fun subreddit. Like, you see, that sounds like a good, reasonable subreddit to have. That definitely doesn't have any drama involved in it, right? Right? Definitely doesn't have any power tripping mods. Just ducks being dicks. I wonder if there's like sister subreddits to it that are things like dogs being dicks or cats being dicks. Oh, it's not dirty, it's Shadow. I thought it was dirt, it was just Shadow. He was just being too edgy over there, pulling his gun out and saying Maria in a deep voice, kind of. Yeah, sometimes you ask your question to yourself, and then you're just like, I don't feel like there's a genuinely good answer to this question, and I feel like a lot of people will have already asked it, but you know how Sonic has like first of all, weird amount of furry stuff, but I mean that is just Sonic, fine. But it also has like that weird amount of people having a Sonic Sona. And I wonder why Sonic is the thing that people latched onto with that. But maybe it was just because it was a popular thing at the time people were being weird online. I mean, people are still being weird online, but you know my point. Wah, wah, wah. Ba-da-da-da-da. I mean, yeah, I'm just thinking about it. It might just be because it was the popular thing that could become a what is your ex-soda or furry-related thing, because there wasn't much competition at the time, was there? That was, like, internationally well-known. Your Pokemon, obviously, but people never really had a Pokesona, did they? They had, like, favourite Pokemon, but they never really had a Pokesona. Can I spray this with the green nozzle and be fine? Kind of. I do it like this, definitely. I wonder what Hugh the Hedgehog would look like. But that's more just Sun the Hedge, but than Hugh the Hedge. Or Shad the Hedge. No, the Edge. There's a lot of things where you kind of look back at them, and you kind of have a moment where you're like, I really want to listen to someone who has analysed this thing talk about it for 4 or 5 hours and explain to me why it was so popular. For example, something like 50 Shades. The 3 50 Shades books sold, I don't know, between them something like $200 million worth? Something like that. And they're not well written. The subject matter ain't great. It's written poorly. It does a lot of damage to BDSM related stuff. Yet, it was just super popular. And I wonder why just a weird Twilight smut novel became so popular. And then, like, around the same sort of time, you had the... what do you want to call them? The YA, the young adult dystopian novels that became movies. So, obviously Hunger Games was the big one of those, but you had other things like the Divergent stuff. And they were really big sellers, even though the writing wasn't great. I don't know about Hunger Games, never read it, never looked at the analysis on the writing of it. But I know a lot of the other stuff that came out was kind of meh. But it's interesting how something like that becomes the hot thing of the time. I don't even know what, like, the hot thing of the moment is now. I don't know what Zoomers are watching. Because these days you've got the problem that there is so much media coming out and so much easy access to it that it's harder for something to become a social/societal thing. Like, Game of Thrones was kind of there. Stranger Things was kind of there. They both shot themselves in the foot. But for, like, younger people and for kids, it's just like, okay, cool, I watched 20 episodes of this show, moving on to the next one. As opposed to, this is the only show I can watch. I have watched the 17 of 40 episodes that I have access to 27 times over, and this is the thing that I will make my personality for the next 5 years. It feels like you don't get that as much these days. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's I don't know, it's interesting. Da 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 da. Okay, I think we're gonna have to switch to yellow. No more green. Back to yellow. Corner ramp. What was I even trying to do here? I made a wiggle. I need to do a full clean out of my Stinky Skinks tank in the next few days so that it's completely clean and ready for when I go on holiday. Get in the corner. Get in the corner. There we go. I just realised I haven't done these benches here yet. Hadn't even tried to do them. But if I clean to like here. Yeah. This one was alright to do with green, yeah. Well, I suppose if I walk this slowly, I'll be fine. The gallery floor? What makes it a gallery? Is that what a section of the skate park is called? The gallery? Oh no, that's skate park. So this section here is the gallery. So presumably people put art up in here? Okay. Up in here. I kind of just want to do the gallery floor now that I know that this little section here is its own section that's going to go ding. Suppose I could have been able to tell it myself, but there's a seam right there. But I want the ding. Give me the ding. I mean, we're like maybe halfway through it, so probably not going to get the ding. But the problem I'm having at the moment is I've started reading a bunch more manhwa stuff, which has resulted in me getting a lot less sleep. Because you lose track of time so quickly when you're reading through hundreds of chapters of stuff. It's just like, oh yeah, okay, I thought this was 5 hours ago. I should have been in bed for a lot of hours. It's 3 AM. Why has this happened to me? Why did this happen to me? I found a really bad manhwa that I just had to read. And yeah, something, I don't even know if I can say something I've noticed, but something that is clearly obvious is ever since the popularity of solo leveling, back even when it wasn't anime, back when it was just a really popular webcomic, webtoon, so many main characters are now just essentially Jinwoo. They'll have the blue aura when they're doing their big aura moments. But then people will forget how to write a character. Well, I say forget. A lot of the characters that I read aren't characters because they're just self-inserts. Self-inserts? No. Mary Sue's. Like, audience inserts as opposed to author inserts. Which, it can get a little tedious after you've read like 7, and they're all just the same character. Maybe they have like a character trait of, I don't like this thing, and it'll happen a bunch that they then can react negatively to. But it's rare that there's any actual character progression, unless, and this is the interesting part, is you'll get character progression if they started with generic insert Mary Sue character, and then 100 or so chapters along the line, they're like, wait, I actually want this character to do something. I have developed the character a bit, and then they actually develop the character. Sometimes that happens, and it can be nice and interesting. But a lot of the time when that happens, the character then kind of starts doing things that would be out of character of the basic Mary Sue that they'd already established. And it'll start feeling a bit... What's the term where... it just takes you out of it. It's, I suppose not immersive? It's where the writing, it doesn't fit with how you see the character. Like how the Luke Skywalker was written in the newer Skywalker movies. Sorry, Star Wars movies. A lot of people saw that as a very weird choice because it's essentially a different character because of the way they wrote it. What was that ding? What was that ding for? I'm gonna get shot. I'm probably not gonna have to be too thorough with the benches, hopefully. I think every surface here has been a multi-purpose, so if I had just sprayed everything down with the soap nozzle, multi-purpose soap, it might have... This whole thing could have already been done by now, probably. Because I would have only had to do a few little light passes with the green nozzle. Maybe I will need to do a bit more. Get rid of whatever this patch was. I don't want to know what that patch was. Someone wet themselves on the gallery chair. Ah, the underside, yeah. How much of the bench is that? Thought it was a different song that I was playing. I was trying to pay attention to it. It was not. Oh, does the underside of the underbench also need to be cleaned? The underside of the underbench. Behold, the underminer. We may be below you, but nothing is below us. Beneath us. Maybe. Oh, gallery floor's clean. Not what I was cleaning, but alright. Must have missed like a reasonably large section for it to still be that dirty. Probably some stuff on the top, yeah. There we go. So I think that's this entire section done. I saw an interesting ad? PSA? I don't really know what you would call it. It was from a Norwegian, what's the thing? Oh my god, I can't think of the word at all now. No, my tiny little brain. Consumers' Rights Group. There we go. And it was this, like, faux documentary on the enshittification of the internet. It was, well, it wasn't just the internet, actually, but a lot of the internet stuff were what they're referring to. And it's like a faux documentary for, like, an enshittifier. Someone who goes around enshittifying things, and he's just like, I'm from a long line of enshittifiers. My father was an enshittifier, my grandfather. But it seems like if this consumer group has any sort of power, not consumer group, consumer right group has any sort of power, Norway may be making it a bit more difficult for all these companies to essentially sell your product and then remove services from the product to charge you for. That's essentially what they're talking about, because apparently it was kicked off by, or like the catalyst to the whole situation was that there was some form of smart thermostat company in Norway that sold these smart thermostats, and they went out of business, they got bought out, whatever. Like, a new company or a new CEO came in, took over. And the new CEO, new company, new person in charge, new team in charge, took away a bunch of features of this smart thermostat and put it behind a subscription. Because of course they did. That's, like, why else did they buy the company? They wanted to make money. So, yeah. So it seems like maybe, at least in the EU, there's going to be potentially some protections coming in related to... Wait. Norway's, like, part of the EU, right? But it doesn't have the euro. Is that... Am I remembering that correctly? Or are they, like, in a weird, like... Oh, what is it? The EEC. The European Economic... whatever. As opposed to part of the EU. Either way, them putting in these laws will influence Europe. Which would be nice. Stop companies just making things worse. And it's like, ah yes, we sold you this car, but we've changed the software for the car now, so now if you don't pay for a subscription, you no longer have airbags. So like, oh, okay, cool. I wonder what services, because I know There was a car where heated seats was part of a subscription, and if you stopped on the subscription, you couldn't use your heated seat. I know that existed. I don't know if there was any that had anything quite as egregious as airbags. I feel that would be just illegal, because they would just be... that would just be putting in a software update that made the cars not road legal. I feel like that would be illegal. But to be fair, a lot of these like software updates, you could consider them ransomware. Because it's literally, yeah, we've changed the software, so now you have to pay us, or you won't be able to do the thing you were already able to do prior. I got a little sad at one of the manuals I was going to. Well, I was reading. Like, I saw it, I was like, okay, that could be alright. It's just called Infinite Gacha. And it was talking about how someone gets isekai'd into a mobile game. And they're like talking about the gacha, and it's called Infinite Gacha. I was like, oh cool, so there's going to be some weird gacha mechanics in this that are going to be like super important to the story, right? Not really. Not really at all. The main character does not interact with the gacha mechanics at all. There is another character that does the gacha. And it really hits a certain point where the gacha is completely ignored. It's just like, oh, okay. Why is this called Infinite Gacha then? Why didn't you just give it a different name? I'm assuming it's because there's been a couple of really popular manhwas, mangas, and anime recently that have gacha as a skill or something that the character has. And so they just, they titled it that to get the draw of the name. I mean, I read 191 chapters of it. That's where it's up to at the moment. So, like, even though they kind of lied with the title to get people into it, I stayed for the story. So, you know, I kind of get it. It's like, as I said, all the people doing Jinwoo characters. It's just like, yeah, they're doing it to get people in, but hopefully they can at least do good enough writing. I can't even do good enough speaking to make the characters their own. Peace. Clean the bowl. Peeing on the side of the bowl to make less noise. Brother trying to eat cereal. Is this all bowl as well? No, this is upper floor. Oh wait. Aha! The green bit is bowl. Clean bowl. There we go. Also, YouTuber I sometimes watch, they put out a video, #1, it was 2 weeks ago I think, was the VOD of the stream, and it was first time playing WoW, #1, and it was a, I don't know, full 5-hour stream, and that was 2 weeks ago. They're up to, I think, number 15 now, because they're enjoying classic WoW. Which, fine. If you enjoy it, you can enjoy it. And they're doing it in, like, a really good way as well, in that they're just playing the game. They're not doing weird challenges, they're not rushing to do raid content or anything like that, they're just playing the game. And I think that's cool. That's the way most players play the game, as far as I'm aware, anyway. That's one of the reasons why I'm not, like, rushing to play the WoW expansion. Because, like, I could play it, I could stream it, but I don't think people would be super interested in just watching me discovering stuff in a new WoW expansion. They'd probably just either watch a streamer that's already at endgame stuff, or watch someone who already has an idea of what they're doing? Did somebody say, wow? No, you're imagining things. I'm just talking about how the casual player plays WoW. And my assumption, because I don't know if I even really come into the casual player box, is... I mean, I appreciate that, Betty, but you're also watching me play Power Wash Simulator, so, you know. But yeah, like, I don't know if I would really come into the category of casual player, but I assume the casual player just kind of plays the game. They don't go all crazy. They're not like the crazies out there. I wonder if I could, like, set up an incredibly slow, like, automatic slow rotation on my character and just point the mouse somewhere and then just let it really slowly rotate round like a sprinkler system or something. Because you can do that to leave it on automatically. I'm not touching. But I'm kind of surprised I'm not, like, crazy hyped for the current expansion, given that, ignoring the Void stuff that is happening, because the Void stuff, it exists. It's fine. Xalatath, she's our feet mommy, it's fine. But a lot of the other stuff, the Blood Elf lore and the Troll lore we're getting, is all super interesting stuff. And I'm like, that should be getting me into the game, because this is like an area of the game I really like. It's just kind of been ignored for a while. Because ignoring the Blood Elf Heritage set, or whatever it's called, Blood Elves really got no new content after the Burning Crusade when they came out. No, never mind. There was a little bit in Mr. Pandaria. There was a bit in Mob. But after that, I don't think there was really anything Blood Elf specific going on. I thought that was Rat Jam, but it's locked in a room with rats, rubber rats, made of rubber, and rats. Bunch of mice made of rats. Because he's Ratigan, the world's greatest mouse. Was I trying to draw a penis here? It's gone now. It's Benny, get them. Ooh, dong. What do you mean I cleaned it? The top's still clearly not clean. No, I was going to go round the edge of the whole thing, like all around the edge, and then just keep going round until it got smaller and smaller, and then my brain was like, but what about cleaning the bowl? I gotta lick the bowl clean. It's gotta be done. How long have I been live? An hour and a half? And I'm only almost 8% through this? Say, does that washer of yours work on hedges? I don't know, I've never tried it. Now it's 80%. That's why I was just spraying around there. I wanted to hit the 80%. Hedges? It's like power wash plants? Like, y'all need to, like, do a rain dance or something. Help clean the area with nature instead of just one man with his power washer and infinite water supply. I wonder where the camera's going to be on this one. It's been a while since I've done, like, a fixed location like this. Because last year, I think, was all vehicles. Ding. Yeah, last week was all vehicles, actually. I did Power Wash Sim. Ding. I gotta remember to do that a bit more. Because I keep doing like that, where half of my water is just being wasted. And it's just like, well, no, don't need to aim that far away. How's the quarter pipe doing? Almost clean. Ah! I was staring right at that, I got flashbanged! The quarter pipe flashbanged me. Can you make a pipe flashbang? You know, like a pipe bomb, but like a pipe flashbang. Probably not, right? Maybe. Maybe. But combining it into a pipe would make it worse. For the effect you want. I was looking at some speedruns of Skies of Arcadia, because that's like one of my favourite old games. Specifically Skies of Arcadia Legends. I never played the Dreamcast version, which was the Skies of Arcadia. But the speedruns are 20 hours. So at that point, it's just like, yeah, I would be locked in that game for a while if I were going to stream it. Just playing it generally, not speedrunning it. You're locked in here with me, watching Skies of Arcadia with the Sky Pirates. And every anime trope possible because, well, it was from the, I think, late 90s, so of course it's got every anime trope. This half pipe's kind of stanky. Sorry, it's not a half pipe, it's a quarter pipe. I didn't know this game had the sound of cars driving by. What do we got left? We got a couple of quarter pipes left. Mostly the skate park floor after that. I don't even know if I've... No, the rails aren't clean. Where do the rails need to be cleaned? Here? The other side? There. There we go. What about this rail? This rail also needs more. Doubt any of it's going to be on the top, though. Yeah, exactly. There we go. One more rail over here. Did I get this one? No, but also the ramp wasn't done either. What am I missing on the ramp? There we go. Ding! Ding, ramp is done. Oh no, it's making the glug glug noise. There we go. Is that all the rails? 1, 2, 3. Just I did that one. Did that one. Did that one. Did that one. And those. That one. What are you still doing? There really is something about this game that just makes me... I just get distracted. I mean, I say something about this game like it's not just the way my brain works, but I just get distracted so easily. And I was just like, well, I've now decided I'm going to be doing the railing, so, well, it looks like we're doing the railing. There we go. Boing. There shouldn't be much left of the skate park, and so far we haven't been offered another job that's going to be difficult. Like a sidecar, assuming I'm not being stupid, it's the sidecar to a motorcycle. That is a small job. Unless the sidecar is something else. And the clown car sidecar. So it's just full of extra stuff. There we go. I wonder how much, like, little speckles of dirt I'm going to leave for the floor for it. Because there's still quite a lot of floor that needs to be cleaned according to the top left there. We could get some multi-purpose soap for the final. Do we have any multi-purpose cleaner? We don't. Huh. Okay. Shop. Cleaning liquids. Multi-purpose. Buy. There we go. And this way I can just kind of do this. Make everything so much easier on myself, right? Maybe. I'll get rid of anything like caked on, and then everything else I can just quickly blast through. Do I want to use the rest of it? We've got 0.2 litres left. That's not exactly a huge amount, so we'll just do it like this. Until it tells me it's done. There we go. Read. Spine. This is called the spine of the skate park. The more you know. I didn't even know the skate park had bones. It's not the dinosaur kids park. Which also doesn't have bones, but still. Oh. That's a weird flashback memory I've just had. Of, Universal Studios Islands of Adventures, the Jurassic Park area. I think it was the Universal Studios one. They got, like, an area where you could dig up fossils for kids. And it's basically just a sand pit with fossils at the bottom of it. But, yeah. Weird moment. I still remember one of the weirdest things that the Islands of Adventure Jurassic Park area had was they had the entrance center, whatever, from the original Jurassic Park movie with the big T-Rex in the middle. They've got that built. But in there, in one of the side rooms, was a couple of screens set up that had a dinosaur 2D fighter game. You know, like a Street Fighter or a Tekken or something like that. It was a dinosaur one of those, where you could pick a dinosaur, and it was, you know, basic dinosaurs at the time, so Ankylosaurus, Triceratops, Stegosaurus, T-Rex, Raptor, etc. I don't actually know if there's more than that. But yeah, you could just pick those to fight each other, and it was really jank and bad. I just remember that it existed. I wonder if it was actually a game that existed, and they just also used it there because dinosaurs, or if it was specifically made for Universal Studios. Who knows? Da 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 da. My own music in my brain. My brain make music, my brain go burr, but not intelligent burr. It is the I am stupid faster burr. Also, apparently I just missed this entire section of just ugh. Ding. Oh, apparently I've missed one of the walls. Looking at, I've got skate park floor and walls left to do. I wonder which walls that is. If I look at the floor here, yeah, there's more. Problem is, if I look too far down, then the amount of like spread I get on the green makes it not worthwhile. I don't even know if using the soap has made this any faster, to be honest. Because if I'm still just cleaning it like this, it probably hasn't. Oh, we've almost got 3.5 grand. Okay. Maybe we can use that. I can't remember how much it was we needed for the Super Omega Cleany Beam. Power washers, professional. We need 5,000, but we also need 90 stars, and we're only at 75. How many more is that? 5? Yeah, five more 5-star maps, and we'll have at least a star unlock for the professional grade power washer. Hopefully I'll still have maps left by that point. Hopefully it's not a, yeah, you hit 90 stars, that's most of the maps done. Like, the vast majority of the maps done. And you just get a cool unlock for doing things when, if you want to replay maps or something. of the game left. Yeah, I think it has helped. I feel like if it was still all just caked on stuff, this wouldn't be as effective as it is, I'm hoping. I'm praying, I'm lying to myself to make myself feel better. Sort of my music had stopped, but no, the power wash is just too loud. My ears are just going. I can hear the ocean. It's the sound of a power washer bursting my eardrum. Just aimed right in there. Blow up my brain. Skittleize my brain. Hey, Morphin. Enjoy the egg. That one is a chicken egg. That is all. How you doing? How you been? We're almost done with the skate park. We're gonna make it go ding. Oh my god, you're gonna make me ding. Please? Please? Oh no, I've left too many random little bits of nonsense on the... Oh, I can't even see that. Can't even see where I've missed. Oh no. Oh no, I don't see where on the skate park floor I've missed. I saw there's a tiny bit there. In the crack. In the crack, I found it. Oh no. It's yellow on whatever color you want to call this. It's not visible. I'm just gonna have to go around and hope for the best. Look there. Is this enough? Is this enough? Nope. Ah! We got it. Okay, cool. Now, which wall is it? Wall, wall. Wall, wall. Wall, wall, wall. Hmm. You been mothing about? Good. Best way to do things. Wall, 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 Luigi! There! Wall. But where, though? On the top, presumably. Where's the ladder? Give me you. That corner! Got it! Hey, FA, get yourself over here quick as you can. We got an urgent one for you. No, eat me. I cleaned the skate park. Look at this. Look how clean this is. This place is so clean and so wet that any of the kids that show up here are going to immediately skid out and be slightly injured. Because it's skating, so they'll be fine, really. But, you know. Yeah, clean, clean, clean. Oh, it's from the far far corner. I wasn't expecting this to be where the camera was. Yeah, person. Good job, Dirt Fighting. Scrubbed up kind of neat, didn't it? It beats me how you do it all with just that jet of angry water. Isn't that alcohol? Isn't that what angry water is? No, that's spicy water, isn't it? What would angry water be? Acid? Or, you know, like very high or very low pH liquid? Maybe? Not the folks seem grateful. All I'm getting so far is gas from the Baggy Pants Brigade, complaining that it don't look sick no more. Which was surely the point. Okay, motor car, a bike, and oh, helicopter. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the sidecar. Screw the emergency helicopter. You may have seen pics of my hubby and I becoming the first sidecar to complete the 24-hour Great Plains Challenge. Everyone thought the tracks were just too bumpy and 24 hours in the seat too restrictive, but it was no problem at all. When I got uncomfortable, I just took my hands off the throttle for a second and gave them a shake. The brutal 5-hour river section sure took it out of the sidecar, though. Can you clean it up? By the way, Bobby wondered if you knew any chiropractors. You jiggled your bones out of place. Well, don't worry. Chiropractors wouldn't help with that anyway, because it's a pseudoscience. Oh my god. Oh! Oh! Oh my god, look how fast it's cleaning. Oh! Alright. 50% already. Okay, we're doing the helicopter as well, I think. 60%. What was this job? Why did they need me? Just take it to a regular ass car wash. There. Ding 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 ding. Yes. Yes. This one is purely here for the dinging dopamine. Oh, apparently I just did not do this. Oh my god, yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think if I drop down to yellow for the last bit. Fairing, okay. Getting the tyres is a bit awkward. I seem to not be getting the sections I need to do. Because of the suspension? There we go. Oh wait, tyre is still yicky. I've not washed there, so maybe? No? Maybe not. That tire's fine. No, it's slowed down so much. There's still quite a few digs left though, because they would have a checklist if there was only 3. That's the sidecar done. Okay. The fender, the spoke sets, and the swing arm. So the spoke set is this one. So which bit have I missed? Like in here, maybe? Yeah, there we go. And that's the swing arm as well. Alright, and what's the fender? That's the bumper, isn't it? Oh. There. That's the fender, apparently. Isn't that just a front mud guard? Alright. It says you have time to fit in my poor little Trixie, do you? She's all mug. Who or what is your Trixie? But probably because this one was real quick. It took me like, what, 1 hour 40? 1 hour... Maybe 1 hour 50 for the other one. And then this one took, what, 5 minutes? Whee! Done. Spin! Trying to find the last little bits. Cool. SUV. Alright. Do the SUV. I feel the helicopter's going to take a while. So, we'll do the SUV. Before SUV, look at the state of it. Dropped the kids off at the play school. And the police had closed the National Park Drive for some reason, so I had to double back over the dirt tracks to get home. I don't know how you've been driving to get your car in that state. That's not driving over a dirt track. You drove through an ocean of dirt. Like, yeah. This is not possible from just regular one afternoon of driving. Were you in a rally? Was it just a dirt rally they were in? Yeah, exactly. No, because then the dirt wouldn't be as brown. It'd be a sort of a yellowier colour. A more dusty colour. Is this a little bit? No, this is part of the car. At least again, it's easy to clean like the last one. It's not as ding heavy, but oh, I could just blast it with the green. Oh, I can. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Ding. Ding 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 ding. Took a tumble, yeah. Also, why did you choose a car in this color? Like, what is this color? It's awful. Like, what even green is this? It's not mint green. It's not lime green. Into a barrel, roll the car into a barrel of fuel and explode the damn barrel of fuel. Much easier than cleaning this. At least it was just mud. Like, the car is mostly clean at this point. Because it was just mud. And given that it's taken me like 3 minutes to get to this point, it's like gonna be the fastest $150 I've ever made. Bonnet, brake light. Okay, brake light. Okay, and the bonnet is the hood, right? Yeah. What's the issue? There we go. Watto! Hey, Annie! Yeah, that's my Watto. Is this the watch out, people? I'm having a frightful time with the ordinary. Any chance you could give it... Oh, the ordinary? Oh no, it's ordinary. What do you mean it's ordinary? It's just so ordinary. What is... Huh. I'm stocked up for the next pandemic. The gnome! I forgot about the gnome. Get gnomed. There we go. Better show them the video of me doing this. Just like foot in their roof. She looks so beautiful, just in time for the afternoon catch up with the girls. You're gonna go pick them back up from preschool or whatever it was you said you dropped them off at and drive on that muddy road again, aren't you? What do you mean, a penny farthing? Why does this person have a penny farthing? Are they brain damaged? Came a cropper on the old bicycle. Seems an element of rust may have crept in and seized up the ruddy stop blocks. Give the old boy a quick swish. There's a shiny threepenny bit in it for you. Yeah, I was wondering why it was only $10. Like, rust, this is going to take longer than the car. The car took 4 minutes. How long is this thing going to take? Am I going to be able to clean it with green? Wait, I can't? No, can't clean it with green. And yellow's going to be awkward to do as well, I think. Wiggle for me. We'll wiggle it instead. Yeah, I should have charged more. Rust is so much worse than just generic dirt. Also, this seems pretty small for a penny farthing. Like, shoulder height? Maybe, I suppose. I wonder why someone invented... Like, the bicycle existed before the penny farthing. Like, the one that has 2 wheels of the same size. So I wonder why someone went out of their way to invent the penny farthing. Some British person, clearly by the name. Although, actually, that could just be... It was popularized in Britain, and hence penny farthing. For those who don't know, a farthing is a coin, penny is a coin. The size difference of the wheels is the difference between the coins. So, penny farthing. Anyway. Should I say it was a coin for the farthing? Like, pennies still exist, but... as used currency. Although I suppose old currency still exists as usable currency in a sense. Like, if you got an old coin, you could sell it to someone for money, so you could use the currency as currency, just not in a shop. It would have to be to a collector or something like that. The wheel is clean. I feel like it's really hard to aim this sometimes. Because it's hard to tell where you've, like, gone astray when it's wiggling like that. Can I get on the penny farthing? I can. Yeah, get that penny farthing. But, like, the penny farthing is barely safer or more usable than a unicycle. Stand on the penny farthing for 10 seconds. Wow, okay. You know what? Let's go red. And that might be slightly better than the spinny because it kind of cleans more than it should, in a way. Okay. Oh, that was the handle cleaned. Whatever that is needs cleaning. Frame, pedals, and wheels. Wait, really? I haven't got the pedals done? What have I missed about the pedals? Didn't do that bit of the frame at all. There we go. Penny farthing done. Am I going to get given another job, or is it just going to be straight to the helicopter? My absolute dream. If he didn't ride so beautifully, I'd flog him in a museum. It belongs in a museum. Belongs in a museum. Belongs in a museum. The helicopter's going to take more time because it's 600 quid. Wait. The skate park put me at 75. The sidecar put me at 80. Oh yeah, the car put me at 85, and this just put me at 90. Wow. Damn it. I thought I would have the money for this by the time I hit 90 stars, but because I just did a bunch of small jobs really quickly, I don't. I need another 1,100. So that'd be the helicopter plus another job. Wash against the clock or a water limit? Oh, okay, that's nice. I'm like maybe halfway through, and I'm almost able to afford the Omega cleaner. So that's nice. Should I do the helicopter then? Got one heck of a dirty copter on our hands. Your buddy Cal got himself into a real spot of bother up on Mount Rushless? Mount Rushless. Mount Casual Jog. No, that's too fast. Mount Amble. Mount Amble. There you go. Poor guy was so delirious from volcanic fumes, he thought the mayor's hellish feline was up there with him. He's fine now, but the copter looks like something dug up from the bowels of the earth, which it nearly was. Our TV crew is arriving later, so if you can do what you do so well, it sure... Okay. Okay, this might be surprising, but I think I'm going to call it there. On the stream, as well as the game. Yeah, you know what? My energy's still reasonably high. Instead of just going into a lull for the end of the stream, we'll end it there and have just a nice, short, good bit of moment for everyone. Yeah. We didn't talk about anything weird today at all. Definitely not. But, yeah, I'm gonna end it there instead. Thank you all for being here. I hope you had a good time. I will be back. Ooh, I'll be back Friday, because it's Wednesday day, isn't it? Yeah. I will be back Friday. 7 PM. GMT, as usual. But see, my brain's already going. I'd like lost focus immediately there. I'll be back Friday, 7 PM GMT. I hope you all had a good time. I hope you have a good rest of your day and rest of your week. And I will see you there. Goodbye and good night.